Soccer played in 2 exhibition matches.
And football prepares to kick off.
All this and more coming up on the Penguin Rundown. Welcome back into the Penguin Rundown. I'm Monica Kurjan alongside Kelsey Norris. Kelsey, are we even in the right place?
I know, I walked in and I was pretty sure I was in the wrong studio. We got all these brand new renovations, a new set, new chairs, and it's pretty wonderful.
This is just the best way to kick off the fall semester and end summer is with a whole new set and a great place to film.
Yeah, absolutely. And summer went very quickly and we got to come back, in a couple months, but our athletes actually came back a little bit early to start for their preseason and getting ready for all the matches they have.
And some of those athletes that came back early was the men's basketball team. They actually got to travel down to the Virgin Islands, and I think that's where you're going to start us off with today.
Yeah. The men's basketball team traveled down to the U.S. Virgin Islands this past week for 3 exhibition games. First, on Wednesday, the Penguins beat Calgary by a score of 74-71. Michael Akuche, senior, led the team with 14 points. On Thursday, the men faced off against the U.S. Virgin Islands All-Star team, picking up the win 90-82. Junior Naz Bohannon was 7 of 8, shooting with 14 points, and also picked up 8 rebounds. The Winds rounded off the trip with the final win on Friday, beating Calgary once more 71-59. Sophomore Darius Quisenberry put up 16 points, while Akuche posted a double-double with 10 points and 12 rebounds. Monica Kurjan had the chance to catch up with Akuche and Naz Bohannon and talk about their trip and upcoming season.
Mike, you guys just got back from the Virgin Islands on Sunday. What did it mean to you to be able to play in 3 exhibition games this summer?
I think it meant a lot to us, just for everybody to kind of bond together, see how chemistry worked out, how, we coach really focused on defense, kind of seeing how the defense was going to work out. So kind of just seeing, how all the work that we put in, how it was going to really come out onto the court.
After having success in your 3 games last week, what are you taking away moving forward in preparation for this next season?
The takeaway for me would just be to continue to play defense and to stay disciplined and do everything that got us those 3 wins.
You have a lot of returners and you have a lot of new guys, as you mentioned. Who's standing out to you thus far?
After the trip, I would say Michael Akuche stood out to me the most. By far, he was the most improved just from last year to this year over the summer and everything.
Now, coming home from the Virgin Islands on your trip last week, what was your favorite part?
Definitely snorkeling, just because I never snorkeled before. And just a lot of guys, we were kind of nervous about how it was going to be. But once everybody got in the water, it was really fun. We saw sea turtles, barracudas, stingrays. I tried to do a backflip, and didn't really work out that well. Yeah, but snorkeling, it was an amazing time. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys had a fun time, and I wish you the best of luck in the upcoming season. Thank you.
Next up for the men's basketball team is practice, practice, and more practice, all leading up to the start of their season. Mark your calendars for November 5th. It was just announced yesterday that the men will be playing their first game of the season at Beagley Center.
The volleyball team began its preseason practice on August 8th. The Penguins have added 7 newcomers, putting them with an 18-woman roster. The new additions include 5 true freshmen, a redshirt freshman, and a junior college transfer. The Gwins have 9 letter winners returning, losing only 1 of their top 5 attackers. Our very own Christina Sanovich had the chance to catch up with 2 returning players, seniors Carla Relitz and Erin Kalahar, along with head coach Alini Scott.
What's your mindset headed into this exhibition match on Friday?
I think we're really just excited to put everything to the test. We've been working hard on technique and drills, and so I think just actually getting to play, it's going to feel really great with everyone.
How has it felt being back to practice in the last couple of weeks?
It's been good. It's great to officially get going, get with all the coaches, all the new players, and I think there's good energy. We're meshing well, so it's been fun.
So what's the game plan heading into this exhibition match on Friday?
I'm just trying to get as much data as possible, so try to switch out lineups, see how people look together, trying to find the right combination before we head into our first weekend, official weekend.
And what are your expectations for this season?
Well, the expectation is to be more competitive and to defend our home court a little bit better than we did last year. Those are my expectations, to play well at home and just stay in matches longer than we did. You know, obviously I think that with the addition of the newcomers and training for a year and a half, I think we're going to be better. I don't know where we're going to fall in the Horizon League. I sure hope it's between, amongst the first six. But I just hope that we're a lot more competitive and a well-rounded team than we were last year.
The women have their first exhibition match on August 23rd against Duquesne at 6 p.m. The first official game takes place on August 30th versus St. Francis at 2 p.m. Both the exhibition and first game will take place in the Beagley Center.
The football team kicks off the college football season on a national spotlight. The Gwins will take on the Sanford Bulldogs in the FCS Kickoff Classic. The matchup will be televised on ESPN at the Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. Our very own Richie Giuliano got the chance to talk to the players about the upcoming season.
Richie Giuliano with tight end Miles Joyner. Miles, first off, you guys start off on ESPN. How excited is this team to kick off the college football season?
We're really excited. We're really focused. We're honing in on the details. So I think we're ready to attack this game this Saturday.
Now, technically it is a neutral site, but this stadium isn't Sanford's backyard. Do you think they have an edge because of this?
I don't. A lot of people saying it's going to be hot down there, but with conditioning that we had with a new strength coach and the work we put in all summer, I think we're more than ready to go down and play there and win.
4 touchdowns and 12 receptions last year. What do you need to do to stay amongst the top scorers on this team?
I'm not really worried about that. I think Coach Chris and the other coaches put me in the right positions to be successful, catching the ball or not. So I think it's going to take care of itself this season.
Kyle, you're a senior on this team here. What kind of leadership do you want to bring this upcoming season?
Well, especially on the defensive side, I want to make sure everyone's aligned, everyone's got the call, and we're all playing on the same page. In terms of the whole team, we started working on bonding even way back when Lou took over the team, and now Coach Terry is our strength coach now. We just started building ever since the summer started. But as long as I can positively encourage guys, sometimes even that means calling people out and getting on somebody's butt. That's just what I want to bring. But I want to encourage others. I want to raise other people's standards to show what we can do, and just to show even the littlest person how much they can achieve.
Now you guys got a big week 1 matchup against Sanford, obviously on a national level. How big is it to win the first week of the season?
Oh, that would be huge. That would set the tone for the season. That would show the nation, especially on ESPN, what Youngstown State's about. Coach Terry's been talking ever since this is the biggest game in Youngstown State history. So we want to go out and we want to prove to not only ourselves, but prove to everyone else who we are.
Our goal as a team is to go in every week and win. We will always want to win. Coming in every week, we come with the confidence that following the game plan that the coaches lay out, we do everything right in practice. And by the time we line up, we're the best team line up against those guys. Coming in this year, having the extra days to get ready and prepare extra for the guys, going extra scout games, extra reps in practice to prepare for the guys. I feel like that's going to be a big advantage for us, and it's going to help us get the win.
With Youngstown State losing a talented bunch of seniors, the team will rely on the younger guys to produce a winning season for the first time since 2016. Be sure to head out to the Ice Castle as the Gwins will be competing at home for the whole month of September. For more on the upcoming football season, we're going to send it over to Dom and Richie at the Roundtable.
Hey everybody, this is Dom Joseph alongside Richie Giuliano, and welcome into the Roundtable. Richie, after a very long summer break, good to be back.
Yeah, it's a great time to be back, especially with the college football season coming up.
Absolutely. Week 0 for the Youngstown State Penguins taking on the Sanford Bulldogs. A little bit ahead of schedule from everybody else, but this is a big matchup going down at a neutral site.
And especially because they're on ESPN.
Right.
This is a good chance for Youngstown State to showcase what they're all about, how gritty of a team and city this is.
Absolutely. Now let's take a look at the records from last year. Sanford was 6-5, YSU 4-7, but one of the main reasons for that was that week 1 matchup against Butler at home fell 23-21. A big matchup against a team they're used to seeing in the playoffs. YSU's 4-0 overall against Sanford. This is big for them.
Yeah, the last time they did play Sanford was in the FCS first round of the playoffs in 2016. beated them by a score of 38-24. And for those of you who know the 2016 season, ended up making it to the championship. They're trying to repeat that same season as 2016.
Absolutely. Now, again, I mentioned 4-0 against Sanford, but they're used to seeing this team in the playoffs. And last time we saw them, again, as you said, 2016. So we've lost a lot of those guys, but Sanford has as well.
Yeah, you know, Sanford has lost, I think, their two best players. They lost a Walter Payton QB Delvin Hodges to the Steelers. Also, they lost their best wide receiver in Kelvin McKnight. So for them, I think that's a disadvantage. And for us, we're returning 6 players on the defensive side that have started at least 10 games for us.
Right, absolutely. And one of the big numbers to look forward to is in the fourth quarter, since 1990, if the Penguins are in the lead, they're 192-16. This will be big for them. Got to be on top going into that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think the first quarter, you know, is going to be the biggest momentum shifter for both sides. We just mentioned earlier, Sanford's going to have a home crowd. They're only about an hour and a half from, you know, the stadium. So they're going to have the home crowd. If they can knock off that crowd and their momentum from last year, I think we got a good chance of winning this ball game.
Couldn't agree more. For Richie Giuliano, I'm Dom Joseph. We're going to send it back over to Monica and Kelsey, who have more.
Thank you, Dom and Richie. The women's soccer team took on Ohio University in Buffalo this weekend in a set of exhibition matches on Friday and Sunday. Starting off the weekend at Farmers National Bank Field in the Covelli Sports Complex, the Gwins dropped the game with a score of 6-1 to Ohio. Freshman Addie Roman had a lone goal from just past the midfield line. In defense, junior Kate McEachran covered the goal in the first half of the game with 6 saves, and junior Samantha Sussy would keep the defense on track with 4 more saves in the second half of the game. Then on Sunday, the Gwins would travel to Buffalo in the tight matchup against the Bulls, where they dropped to a score of 2-0. In the final exhibition game, sophomore Ziana Girage defended the goal with 4 saves in the first half, followed by freshman Mackenzie Simon having 2 saves in the second half. Dom Joseph had the chance to catch up with both senior Larson Mervin and head coach Brian Schroom on their take from the exhibition matches.
So I think what we found was how young players have to learn how to play together, and a mix of new players. So that's what we are this year. We've got a lot of new players who found out what it's like to play their first Division I game. And then on Sunday, you saw them start to get to know each other a little bit. Their communication levels climbed a little bit, and I think the game slowed down a little bit for them. Again, just keep growing as a group, and can they continue to improve their communication levels so that they can go out there and score 1 more goal than the other team, which is the objective itself, and then continue to build something that we're striving to do, and that's make a program that climbs the ranks in the Horizon League. So that'll be the goal. No matter what, that's the end result. That's the goal.
I think in the first game, it was really a learning experience for the freshmen and for the upperclassmen. We played with a lot of freshmen on the field, so we weren't really familiar with playing with each other. We only had a few practices to prepare for it, and it's always new for the freshmen coming in to see how different it is from club and high school soccer. So I think it really taught them like what the speed of the game was going to be like and how to handle it. And overall, I think we really just worked on trying to work as a team and figuring out how each person plays. Hoping to win, for sure. Get the season off to a good start, get a win under our belts, and hopefully set the pace for the rest of the season while continuing to learn how the other players play with each other and how we go as a team.
The soccer team will be back in action this weekend, facing off against Fort Wayne at 7 on Friday and St. Bonaventure at 1 on Sunday. Both will be at home, so make sure to come out and show your support.
The softball team just announced their 8-game fall schedule. All 8 games will be at home at the Covelli Sports Center, and the first game is in just a few short weeks. On September 13th, the Gwins will take on both Cuyahoga Community College and Slippery Rock. We look forward to seeing the team take the diamond in the coming weeks.
That just about does it for us here at the Penguin Rundown. For news, highlights, and more, be sure to check out YSUsports.com and follow us on all of our social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat at Penguin Rundown 1. I'm Monica Kurjan.
And I'm Kelsey Norris.
See you next Thursday, Penguin Nation.